It's Friday, November 2nd, and I'm your host, Paula Hersey. On today's show, Barnstable Recreation has new after-school and sports programs for the winter, rake in the oyster season opening details, and learn more about a special community table at the Hyannis Fire Station. Let's start with some news you can use. Let's talk trash. Take the town of Barnstable's recycling survey. Please help the Department of Public Works to better serve the solid waste disposal and recycling needs of our community by taking a very brief online survey. The survey will be open through November 15th and can be found on the town's website, www.townofbarnstable.us, on the top right-hand corner. It's always hard to leave a house after years of special moments, but the new Hyannis Fire Station brought a special piece of furniture into the new building, one that will build a home and new memories.
The table for us, what was one of the big things in the firehouse. Like I said, we wanted that to be something that we did for this firehouse for future and from the past. So one of the things we did, we found online some pictures of some steel tables that we really liked. We brought it to a local welding company, All Cape Welding, who were kind enough to dedicate the project to two former employees who also worked here, Lieutenant Rick Knowlton, who recently passed away, and Dan Clough, who passed away shortly after he had retired as well.
Right, what an amazing connection.
Yeah, they actually welded their names at both ends of the table underneath the steel. So they dedicated the work and the labor and the steel to that. Judy Fenner helped us paint it. She was just about to clear coat it when we decided that what we wanted to do was show a little bit more patina.
Yeah.
So her and I spent a couple more hours sanding it down by hand to bring out the patina of the steel look. We knew we wanted a wood table. We found some barn planks from an old barn in Pennsylvania that was donated to us by Stonewood Products down in Harwich. The wood's from about 1800s. We have two gentlemen who work in construction and table works. They planed it and formed the table. And then we spent probably 3-4 days sanding it down again, filling in the imperfections, staining it. And then literally last Sunday we poured the epoxy on the top. So
wow.
it just sealed up this past week. So when we were making the table, we wanted to recognize the fire service and what the table means of a family sitting together. So we made sure that we added 343 FDNY, which is the amount of firefighters who passed away on 9/11, as well as the Worcester 6 who passed away in 1999 in the cold storage fire. So those are the two groups that we recognize at the table when we sit here and we have dinner as a family. So.
There's also a 9/11 connection. I know Lieutenant Kenny that just retired a couple weeks ago. He was one of the firefighters that went down to New York after 9/11 happened, and he brought back, what did he bring back?
So he brought back a rivet. Yeah, so Tom recently retired. He worked the pile at Ground Zero, welding, cutting up a lot of the steel. So he was able to bring back something that meant to him that down there at Ground Zero, and he dedicated and donated a piece of rivet to us here for the table.
Yeah, it's a great central, piece for the staff here to kind of sit and talk and, be with one another while they're having a meal and kind of think about, what it is they're doing and why they're doing it. I know that there's a great saying up on the wall, "I'm here to go on calls" by Lieutenant Knowlton, and I know that probably means a lot to you guys.
Yeah, and this is where we start the call, and we listen to it here at the kitchen table, and we go out and serve the community. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for telling us about this. This is beautiful. You guys did a great job.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Barnstable Recreation's winter schedule is out with some new programs for after school and Tuesday, November 6th. Registration opens. Assistant Director John Gleason joined us in studio to tell us all the details. It must be Friday. We're here with Barnstable Rec, Assistant Recreation Director John Gleason, and it is time for, I don't want to say it, winter programming.
I know, doesn't it seem like we were just talking about summer and we're already on to winter here?
Already on to winter. So Barnstable Recreation does a tremendous job getting programming together for kids after school and on the weekends. Tell us the importance of why these programs are important to the town and our residents.
Absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, we want to make sure that we have good quality programs for the kids after school. A lot of kids need something to do after school. They have, whatever their household contains, but most likely their parents are working or, they just need somewhere to be, and we're a good place for them to engage in something. Also, the kids have been in school all day, and they have a short recess, and sometimes they only have PE, I think, once a week. So they need something to do to get their bodies and minds maybe working in a different way than in the classroom. So it's just really important for them to do all the sorts of activities that we have for us after school.
Right, and you handle a whole lot of kids.
Absolutely, yeah. Anywhere from the athlete to the child that wants to learn about outdoor education or science. We try to do it all. Years and years ago when I first started, it was pretty much just geared towards the major type of sports and activities. But we're recreation, we're a wide variety of things, and we just can't cater to certain segments of children. We need to make sure we can find something for everyone, and we try to do our best to hit all those sort of areas.
Right. So one of the ones that I love for the athlete that maybe is a little more laid back is fencing.
Fencing, yeah. We've had fencing for years now, and it's a great sport and activity for the kids to do. It's one day a week on Thursdays at the 4th and 5th grade school at Barnstable United. And we have instructor Jim Rose, who is an excellent teacher, knows a lot about fencing and helps provide the equipment. And so parents just need to sign their kid up. I mean, all the equipment's provided, and a lot of kids go into it and, oh yeah, I get to swing around a sword, but it's a lot more technical than that, and the kids learn the proper etiquette of fencing and stuff like that. So it's a great after school program for the kids.
And your traditional sports are there as well.
Absolutely. I mean, our biggest one in the wintertime, because it's cold outside, so we're indoors, is basketball. We have for the after school age kids, 4th through 7th grade, we have girls and boys basketball after school. Well, one day we're with the boys at, maybe the 6th and 7th grade. We're at the other school with the girls. Then we flip-flop. So we have the use of all the high school kids that can work for us. Right. So the boys can be at one school, the girls at the other, and then the other 2 days we flip-flop.
And you also have some really cool programs for perhaps that cerebral kid that's not quite into the sports, but still needs some activity, wants to stretch their brain or exercise their brain. Tell us about some of those.
Yeah, sure. So the first one I'll talk about is our hiking outdoor adventure or sunset adventure. Mickey, who runs the program, calls it her adventurers, because they're always going on some sort of nature hike or something that's really cool. And so they're getting some exercise, walking throughout trails or along beaches, and then the instructor, Miss Andrea, is really knowledgeable about all things nature. So she really teaches the kids about tracking and scat and all sorts of cool nature things that you just wouldn't really know about. So the kids can learn stuff, and usually sometimes they'll do drawings or write something in a journal or whatever they're going to be doing. They learn something really cool. And speaking of cool, we also work with a place called Wicked Cool for Kids, and they do all sorts of science classes. Things they've done in the past it's called like superhero science or Lego robotics. So I think we have 2 programs that don't run at the same time. One's for I think 6 to 8 weeks, and then after that another one will run. And same thing, it's just teaching the kids some STEM type things in the class. Just use their brain in that capacity.
Right, there's magic,
Yeah,
and there's
magic,
the elements. I love the whole science piece of this as well. So, and one of the ones that was really popular when I was a kid was street hockey.
Yep.
So
it sounds, some of the older folks that might be watching this, they might sound crazy, but the kids play outside.
Yeah.
It doesn't get cold, but the kids absolutely love it. We have 2 teachers, Mr. Stewart and Mr. Harmon. After work, we'll go outside with the kids, and we'll have anywhere from 20 to 40 boys and girls playing street hockey outside in front of the school. And they'll play for about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, because obviously we're dealing with daylight issues. But they absolutely love playing. And a lot of kids are hockey players in the wintertime themselves. They just can't get enough of it.
Right.
And they do our street hockey program as well. But we also have kids that don't play regular hockey that are in it just because they like playing, and they might not feel comfortable skating and stuff like that. So they don't have to worry about falling down on ice skates. They're just outside on the tar and on their sneakers. And same thing, we have equipment for them, and so it's an easy thing for them to participate in.
And I just want to mention that you've gotten a grant to expand some of your programming.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yep. So we're in our second year of offering our free after-school program for 6th and 7th graders. But we did work, Mark Bordley, the youth center manager, worked with the school department, and we received a grant. So starting this winter, we're adding 4th and 5th graders to pick them up by bus and bring them over to the youth center to engage in, play and homework time and, all sorts of things at the youth center for free.
For free.
For free.
You heard that, folks, for free. 4th and 5th have been added.
Yeah.
This is just huge news for...
Absolutely. And same thing with like the 6th and 7th graders do. A lot of parents utilize it because they're working, and it's just something fun to do. And they can still engage in all our other activities. A lot of kids at the 6th and 7th grader will participate this winter in basketball. So they'll go after school to the gym and do basketball, but on the other days that they're not doing basketball, they need something to do, so then they'll come to the after school program, and it's free. So it's not like you feel like you're losing out on something.
Right.
So it's a great program. Mark and George run that program for us at the youth center, and they do a phenomenal job. And we also have Officer Brian Morrison that's at the youth center as well, and he participates a lot with the kids doing dodgeball games or pool or hanging out in the computer lab with them or helping them with homework. So it's just a great atmosphere for these kids to have three adults mentoring them and teaching them not only about sports and activity but about life and doing homework and all those good things.
It's just wonderful. Good work on the grant. That means a tremendous, for the youth here in Barnstable, a free program after school.
Yeah,
just amazing.
We wouldn't have done it without the school's help. Obviously, the school played a huge role in that. And then on our end, Mark Bordley helped out as well. But we're very thankful. The 4th and 5th grade has an after-school program, but I know they always can't take as many kids as they would like. So there are always parents scrambling of, well, what do I do? What do I do? Well, now we have something, for them to do, and we're excited about it.
Excellent. So the one kind of thing in this brochure is to sign up is happening on voting day is the first day.
Yeah, voting day. So the good thing is we do have online registration, and I would say about 75% of our parents or guardians register online. And it's a quick and easy process. I mean, that's coming from someone like me that just knows how to do it, but it is really, really quick and easy. As long as you have a username and password, you've set up your account, you can register in minutes. Plug in all of the kids' programs, pay for it, and you'd be done in 2 minutes. If you don't have an account, you can always go online and register for the account, and then we get notified through email that a new household has been established, and then we send that new account a username and password, and they can do it online. So a majority of it do it that way, and it's quick and painless. You can also register in person. On the first day, we're doing it at 8:45 in the morning at the youth center, and then thereafter it's 5 days a week, 8:30 to 4 o'clock in person. There's also no school on that day. So the kids can come, and we love to see the kids, and you can get out and vote and do wonderful things.
There you go.
Time-wise, it just didn't really work out that great this year because we need enough lead time to figure out how many kids are going to be in our programs. If we extended another week, you barely have 2 weeks. Then you're into Thanksgiving, and then we start right after Thanksgiving. So Yes, it is on Tuesday voting day, but we encourage you to get out and
Right.
sign up for programs.
So you're going to vote, and you're going to go get your kids signed up for some really cool programs after school, or perhaps even the free after school if they're in 4th and 5th grade.
Yep. Yeah. We some of our programs do have limited number of spaces,
Right.
but usually the after school program we could take quite a number of kids, and we're looking forward to it.
Excellent. Thanks so much, John.
All right. Thank you.
It's oyster season in Barnstable, and shellfish technician Liz Lewis has all the exciting details for this Saturday's opening day. It's the most wonderful day of the year. Oyster season is here! Yay! With me today is Liz Lewis from our shellfish technician from the town of Barnstable. You must be so excited.
I'm so excited. Yep, absolutely.
So Oysters opening day is this Saturday. It's
Yes.
going to be low tide around 2:45.
2:45.
today.
Yep.
So let's just back up a little bit. And what is the opening day really going to be like for folks who are going to head out?
All right. So we have 3 different locations this year. We have Scudder Lane, the party zone. We have Bay Street on the south side, and this year new Katuah Dock on the south side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So 3 areas to go to choose from. We usually see about 400 people opening weekend. And so because we have daylight savings time, you get Groundhog Day on Sunday. A repeat, it's at 2:45 again on Sunday, and you can get another half peck of oysters then.
That's right, 'cause
Yeah.
it's another week.
It's another week.
All right, so let's talk regulations and rules.
All
Like,
right.
get that, that boring stuff out of
yeah.
the way, but things that we really want to make sure that folks understand. So, number 1 is how many oysters can you take a week?
Okay, so you can take half a peck, which is an inch above the middle ring on your peck basket.
Okay.
Okay, don't move the middle ring on your peck basket. Okay. We've seen it all, folks. Yes, a half a peck.
Half a peck.
Yes.
Okay. And how big are the oysters? Should they be?
They need to be 3 inches. We have a lot of jumbos this year, so there should be no reason for smaller ones coming back. They have beautiful cups. Just make sure they're 3 inches long.
Okay.
So the full length of your 3-in-1 gauge.
Okay. And parking and things like that, this, opening weekend is kind of a free-for-all out there, a
Right.
little bit of chaos. So tell us what people can expect for parking.
Okay, so the tide isn't going to be that wonderful, but there will still be parking down on the beach at Scudder Lane there. We will have a police detail starting at noon, so please follow their directions. And we'll be there to assist as well. So just follow the cones, follow the signage. We want to make sure that an ambulance will be able to get down there, so that's why we're asking people to park where the cones aren't and all that. So it might be a little bit of a walk, but that's part of the fun. It's part of the enjoyment. You get to be there. Everyone's coming down. So we'll be very busy, but it should be organized chaos.
Okay. So I'm heading out there. I got my rake.
Yep.
I got my peck basket. Where am I going?
All right, so you walk down to the landing at Scudder, and you can choose left or right this year.
Oh, wow.
Either way.
Okay.
And they're actually higher up than they usually are. So you might not have to really go in the water too much, but to the left, there's some right by the jetty, and it goes all the way down. So you don't have to walk all the way down to Calves Pasture. Around the Point is closed this time of year. So you can walk all the way to the left or all the way to the right to Harris Meadows.
Wow.
And so remember, if you do come in the Harris Meadows way, it is private past the paved parking spot. So please respect your neighbors there. You can park along the road there, park on the pavement, but we can't block the entrance to those homes.
Right.
So.
And what's a couple of tips out there to find some of these? I mean, I remember one year that you literally just reached down and picked them up because there were so many of them out there.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is.
That's all it is.
But this time of year, you can be picky. So if you're new to oysters, you're looking for the ones that have a nice shape, have a good bowl. You want some depth to that. That's going to have a really nice product inside, really nice meats, and ones that are easier to open. So make sure it doesn't have that hinge that you might have to break off later in the year.
Right.
We also do have some that are in clusters, so you can break those off. But there's a lot of singles around as well, so you really just look around. Try not to go too high, you'll get stuck in the mud.
I did have my boot. I
Lose
think
your
I'd
boot,
left
right?
there. Right,
Yeah.
exactly. The weather's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous, temperature-wise.
Temperature-wise, yes.
But it could be a little bit drizzly out there.
A little bit wet, especially if you're arriving. Some people, they like to come really early, hosey their spot, they make a party of it.
Right.
So it might be a little drizzly in the morning.
Okay.
The afternoon will hopefully clear up, and Sunday's supposed to be awesome.
Okay.
So it's going to be a great weekend.
I have half a peck in my basket. Am I just heading back to the car?
You don't have to. So we also have cohogs.
Okay.
We have cohogs at Scudder Lane,
Okay.
the usual area to the right, and we also have cohogs at Bay Street this year as well. So you can get both. You can get a full peck of that in addition to your half peck of oysters. But make sure you come see us at the landing so that you can check out. We're going to make sure that everything's all set. You're 3 inches. You're not taking too many. Remember, you can go back Sunday and get more. Use the ocean as your refrigerator. You don't need as many oysters as you can. We want to make sure that everything that's taken out is eaten. So come and see us and we'll help you out.
Right. I always brought an extra bucket with me so I could actually take some of that ocean water and put the oysters right back in there so they keep nice and cool.
Yeah, so remember though that don't leave them in too long.
Right.
An oyster can drink 30 to 40 gallons of water a day, and cohogs are about 30 gallons, so don't leave them in for more than an hour.
Yep.
It's awesome for the cohogs,
Yep.
but they'll keep in your fridge for a while. Just put a damp paper towel on top and they're good to go.
Okay. And safe shellfish handling. Why don't we just
Yes.
remind people a little of that
Keep 'em
information?
cold.
Keep them cold.
Keep them cold.
Right.
Like you wouldn't leave a raw steak in your garage. Please don't leave your oysters in the garage. Yeah.
And before we end, I do want to touch on the other 2 areas because those are new this year. Scudder is where the party is, like you said. The party.
And Bay Street, we do Bay Street a lot,
Right.
but Katuitt Town Dock is new.
Right.
So we purchased our seed from Katuitt Oyster Company, so right down the road. We kept it all in Katuitt there. And those are beautiful. We do have to taste test a little bit, so I taste tested them, make sure it's good for everyone.
Right.
And those ones in Katuitt are really sweet. They're beautiful, just excellent meats, very clean and sweet, which is so different from the north side where it's that salty, briny
The brine,
flavor.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool to compare them. You can have a little smorgasbord.
There you go.
There you go.
And you can go Saturday and Sunday.
Exactly. So yeah, try out those other spots. Katuitt Town Dock might be quiet to start, just because I think a lot of people don't know about it.
Right.
But we're testing out that area. Should be pretty good. And Bay Street, the parking will be challenging, but tends to be quieter than Scudder.
Okay. Anything else you want people to know?
Have
It's such a
fun
good
out
thing.
there. Have fun. Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone.
Excellent. Thanks, Liz.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's a look at the election calendar for the remainder of this week and next week. Here are some important reminders. Today, Friday, November 2nd, is the last day for early voting here at Town Hall until 4:30 p.m. On Monday, November 5th, the Town Clerk's office will close early at 12 p.m. to prepare for Election Day on Tuesday, November 6th. Tuesday, November 6th is Election Day. All precincts open 7 a.m. and will close at 8 p.m. Please note, voting location changes for Precinct 1, now at the Zion Union Church, Independence Drive, Hyannis, and Precincts 10 and 12 are now at the Seventh-day Adventist Community Building, Route 28, Marston's Mills. The town of Barnstable is ready for Election Day. Please exercise your civic right and vote. Here is a look at the upcoming meeting schedule for boards, commissions, and committees. Comments, suggestions, accolades? Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram, email us, or send us an old-fashioned note by carrier pigeon. Channel 18 works for you. I'm Paula Hersey, and thank you for watching Barnstable Today.